skeletons in my closet. Hey, it's CoNCeTTa and ChaRLiE. Yay, that was awesome, CoNCeTTa and ChaRLiE. So, come sit down. Now we're going to talk to you guys. You got it? You got it, CoNCeTTa?
Yeah.
So, CoNCeTTa, where does your name come from?
It's an Italian name named after my. It's an Italian name named after my great grandmother.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you been to Italy?
No, I haven't.
Here, come sit down. Come sit down. And ChaRLiE, so did you guys write that song? Is that an original or is it like a classical?
Yeah, no, it's the original. We each write for the project. That was one I wrote, but
Really?
CoNCeTTa and I.
So you write like classical music? That in itself is like mind blowing to me. Like how long does it take you to write a piece like that?
It depends. I mean, sometimes it takes like a while, and sometimes they just
Pop out.
Yeah. So.
I got a question for ChaRLiE. Is that a lunchbox amp?
Yeah.
Those are rad.
Yeah, it's
one
awesome.
of those.
After I bought it, I sold all the other ones I have.
Oh,
She
yeah.
has one too.
Yeah, you don't need anything else with that.
No, yeah. I mean, I play in full rock bands with it, and
I think you just sold me completely on it. 'Cause I was like, I've seen the demos on it, I've heard the premise, and just the idea of being able to throw an amp in my backpack
That's exactly what
and
I
a
do.
gig
Yeah.
bag. You can go, that revolutionizes touring. You can do it with a
Yeah,
car.
you can hook it up to an external speaker.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
it's cool. Yeah.
So that's amazing in itself. Now, did you go to Berkeley?
No, I didn't.
Where'd you go?
Well,
Did you?
No.
All right.
No, we have a lot of friends that did.
That figures.
Yeah.
It seems like you would.
Yeah, well, I actually dropped out of conservatory in Virginia at
Oh, good
Shenandoah.
for you. Good for you.
Yeah,
Why'd
so-
you drop out? You just felt like you didn't need it.
Well, no. I mean, like, I definitely, I'll always have a lot to learn. That's just not the place to learn it. I mean, like, I feel like if you're going to learn, I mean, we both kind of agree the best way to learn is to just play.
Yeah.
Learn from people you play with. You know, like,
Absolutely.
I get my education from playing with people better than me. Like,
Yeah, always,
instead
right?
of, like, wasting time.
Well, you're pretty much on the better spectrum, I would think. How did you guys meet?
We actually met about a year and a half ago. I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and I needed a roommate, so I had an ad out for a roommate, and she came by to look at the room, but she had a violin with her, so we kind of got to talking. She wound up not taking the room, but we stayed in touch because we were into a lot of the same music.
Wow, that's
Well,
awesome.
One of the things that I heard, it sounded like at times you were going with classical and you were throwing jazz lines over it. I thought that was pretty rad.
Yeah.
There's that one whole movement in the middle where you're doing like a lot of like jazzy, well, not really dissonant, but like some diminished sounding stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're both into a lot of jazz and classical and country stuff, so we just kind of throw it all in, yeah.
I might be a punk rocker, but I love jazz.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. When it's good, it's good, and when it's not, it really sucks.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah. So, where are you from?
I'm from Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah, originally.
And how old were you when you picked up the violin?
4 or 5. My mother's a music teacher, so I started pretty young.
And can you play all sorts of stuff on that violin?
Yeah, you can play a lot of different things on the violin. I started playing classical music, so when I was younger, that's mostly what I did. And then I started, I guess, from college playing in Latin music bands and jazz ensembles. And then when I met ChaRLiE, we started this project of playing freely improvised music, which is great because it allows you to incorporate all the different influences that you have into one big ball of music.
So who are your influences, actually?
Collectively?
Yeah.
Well, a big influence for me is like some 20th century music composers, Stravinsky. Yeah, it's obviously like Bartók, Shostakovich is huge. And then when I was younger, my violin teacher was kind of a Baroque specialist, so I spent a lot of time playing Bach and Vivaldi, Corelli, and that stuff. And I guess those are really heavy influences for me that come out.
Now, what kind of like modern people do you like? I mean, those people are all fine and dandy,
Yeah.
but like they remind me of like, you know, the fabulous outfits and all that. You know, are you like a retro kind of girl?
What do you mean by retro?
Like Vivaldi and Mozart, and like, do you live in that era? If you could be
dress
born in any era, would you want to be then?
Definitely not.
You
So
wear,
who do you
big
like?
poofy outfits
I
or
love those
anything like they
outfits.
did
I
back
just saw
in
the
day.
movie The Duchess. And I want everything she wore in that movie. I mean, I love that era. But like, who do you like of today?
Well, one artist that we share in common that we both love is Bjork. I went to see her. Went to see her Biophilia concert last year, which was fantastic. I love how she grows as an artist, and I've, you know, pretty much own like everything that she's ever released. But she also like draws a lot from early music influences. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that she puts that in a modern context.
Yeah,
And that's kind of what I do too. So
that's cool. I love Bjork too. What about you?
A lot of my influences are really current. I'm really influenced by Mary Halverson. She's a guitarist in town, plays a lot. She's one of my favorites. I really like Bill Frisell, another guitarist. It's a big influence. And I also really like a lot of pianists like Paul Bley and Marilyn Crispell. But also a lot of stuff, like, I mean, like, there's a lot of really current stuff, like, I really like, you know, Lana Del Rey and stuff like that, too.
Love her.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and a lot of people, like, that hear us play, you know, might assume that we don't listen to stuff, like, more pop stuff, but we totally do. I mean, I'm also into a lot of country stuff, like Hank Garland and Patsy Cline, and,
Nice.
yeah, so, yeah.
Man knows his music.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
apparently.
There's a lot of it
I
out
think
there.
it's pretty safe to say that anything that he likes or I like that we both like, because we influence each other so much musically, and we play in like 10 different bands together, so like we definitely collectively draw on a pretty wide repertoire of influence.
So this project is like your baby together.
I guess so.
We like this project because we can do whatever we want.
That's
Whereas
awesome.
in a lot of projects, it's a little more focused genre-wise, but in this one we can throw pop, country, baroque, and jazz all into the same
And it
thing.
works.
Yeah.
So do you have gigs coming up as CoNCeTTa and ChaRLiE?
Yeah. The next one is, when is it?
February 6th at Sidewalk Cafe at 8 p.m. We're going to be doing a double bill with a friend of ours who's a vocalist named Emily Liebel, and she sings in French. She's from Switzerland, and it's just really amazing stuff. So, February 6th, 8 p.m. Sidewalk Cafe.
Awesome. Now today is National Cream Puff Day, and you guys look squeaky clean, but I need a skeleton from your closet.
Okay, well, I actually don't eat wheat because I have an allergy.
Well, I have an alternative for you.
So I'll go for the gluten-free option.
Here's the gluten-free option. We always are prepared. Don't worry.
Okay, so we each have to tell a story. Okay, so my story is when I was 14 years old, I had a best friend, and her name was John, and we each had boyfriends, and Dawn and I and our two boyfriends lied to each other's parents respectively and said that we were sleeping at the other friend's house. And then we all got on the Long Island Railroad and came into the city and hung out in the East Village all night. And we thought we were like really badass and really cool, and that we were totally getting away with this, and this was so awesome. And then we decided that it was time to go back home, and we needed to get back before sunrise because my ex-boyfriend's father was like a hard ass and would like check to see if he was there in the morning, and we knew. So we were like, we have to get back before like 6 a.m. And we accidentally got on the wrong train. And we lived all the way out east, out by Riverhead, like if anybody knows Long Island.
Oh,
and we accidentally got on a train that left us in Roslyn. And it was like
Started with an R.
and it was 3 in the morning, and we were like, okay, we have like 2 hours more or less to figure out how we're getting all the way out east. And this random cab driver, I guess he clearly knew that we had no idea what we were doing, and like he was like, yeah, I got like business to take care of out east, so I can drive you guys out there, and for free, like drove us like an hour out east, but like also like picked up this chick from like a strip club on the way out there, and like all these shady things. We were like 14, we didn't know what was going on, and we got back by 5 a.m. and our parents still to this day, unless they're listening to this radio show right now, don't know about that.
Wow, take 2. That was awesome. Good for you. Do you dream about doing something like that again one day?
I don't know. I don't think it would be as exciting now that I'm like an adult and no one cares what I do.
Right. All right, ChaRLiE.
I used to live in Nashville, and I had this weird job where I would fix windows that had moisture damage. But I wasn't very good at it, and I used to screw it up a lot. But there was a couple of times when I screwed up pretty big, and I just didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to get in trouble or get fired. So,
Now, screwed up how? Not fixing a window?
Well, I mean,
Going to the wrong house.
Oh no, I was always at the right house. But this one time I was working, this little family that had a little girl who was probably 7 or 8 from the looks of it. I was fixing a window in her room, and I broke it. I broke the window because I was drilling a little hole in it and totally screwed up. So I broke the window, but I didn't really want to tell anyone about it, so I put her teddy bear in front of it. It was that'll be $300.
Oh my god!
It was windows fixed.
Did you get fired from that job?
No one ever found out. Yeah.
They still.
Unless they're listening.
Wow!
Yeah,
oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was pretty
You
messed
guys
up.
are deviant for little squeaky clean looking people. I love that. So, what's your website? It's Facebook, I know.
Yeah, it's just facebook.com/ChaRLiE and CoNCeTTa.
Do you know any other CoNCeTTas?
No. I mean, I knew my great-grandmother, but no. I've heard of other people named CoNCeTTa, but I've never met them in person.
That's cool. I think I met one other, but it's a pretty cool name. It's nice.
It's like a really old-fashioned name, so because obviously my great-grandmother was given that name in the late 19th century, so if I introduce myself to people who are from Italy and I tell them my name, they're like, oh, sorry, it's like your name being Gertrude or something.
Oh, really?
I think that's cool.
Well, that's awesome. Well, so February 6th, you'll be at Sidewalk.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also we wanted to just drop a quick note that in the spring we'll be releasing our first EP on Brain Plan Records.
Good for you.
Which is a cassette tape label.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Good. So you'll float to the top, I'm sure.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like the competition's that big in this category, right?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of like weird guitar violin dudes
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, there might be, but you guys are cute.
We got that going for us at least.
Yeah, exactly. And you had pretty decent skeletons too. All right.
And he plays through a lunchbox, and she does too. That's rad.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks so much, and
Yeah,
come back
thank you for having us.
anytime. Good to see you. We'll be back. We got a lot to go on January 2, rew-who. Yeah.